DeRo, it's a cruel business. I can't imagine being put in that position and face that kind of scrutiny. We get the fortune or the luxury of second guessing, but these decisions, they are thought out well ahead of time. They aren't made just willy-nilly. But take a closer look at the pitching plan execution for the Mariners last night.
Yeah, I think, Robert, the bottom line is the game's easy from the couch, certainly.
Correct.
But I sat there last night, and anybody who was watching that game knows that game came down to one decision. You could sit there and talk about everything that happened in the 9 innings, but it came down to one decision, and who does Seattle Mariners want on the mound with their season on the line? And instead of diving truly deep into it, it felt like in Dan Wilson, maybe we'll never know. He didn't take us inside inside the mind. He said he's been our guy all year. In that spot, I just know for me, if I'm going down for the year, it's going to be Wu, my top starter, or Munoz on the mound that I go down with, my top reliever.
Okay.
For Bizzardo to be put in that spot, that's why the questions are, because anyone sitting there was shocked when they looked up and saw him running in from the pen. So I wanted to dive into the why. Why would he be the guy in that moment? Why didn't it work? What did they see about George Springer? Why did they want to attack him with 2-seamers? All of it. So let's go through it. Bader put together a great little edit piece right here. So this is the decision of the game. You want to go to the World Series, it's 3-1. Look at the bug. So pause this. I'm saying to myself, you would have had a hard time convincing me to take George Kirby out of this game to get to Wu. So they kind of let you know, and nothing's wrong with this, that at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whenever they meet, there was a clear design to get Wu in this game at all costs, clean lane, and Kirby wasn't going to see this lineup a third time through. When we come back in the B block, I would have turned to my bench coach and go, give me a reason to take George Kirby out of this game, because he's throwing 98-mile-an-hour bowling balls right past these guys right now. So I would have had a hard time even going to Wu in that spot, but then I would have had a hard time taking Wu out. So as he's walking, I'm like, okay, Munoz is coming into this spot. And then you could be all right with that. And then right here, I'm saying to myself, Wu's previous at bat in the bottom of the 5th, he took apart George on 3 pitches. Slider away and get out of here. So I was saying, why the need to get Wu out of the game? I love the low arm angle. They have proven that they want to, pause this real quick. They have proven all series, if you were watching it from cover to cover, they want to bury balls in on George Springer. 2-seamers in, sliders away, 2-seamers in, off. The first 2 pitches Kirby threw were under his chin last night. So that was the MO. So I can understand the Bizzardo, the pitch usage, the 2-seamer, that's what he is, sinker slider guy. I could also understand arm action and why you're trying to do it. What I don't understand, if you're going to bring Bizzardo into that game and you know it, why did he pitch in a meaningless spot in Game 6 and Springer got to see him? So run this. I want to you just get to see him, right? George gets one more look at him. Gets to see what that 2-seamer's doing. Second plate appearance against Bizzardo. So he was going to check him a 3rd time. Pause this for me. Bring up the boards. Statistical comparison in the postseason since 2019. There is this mind-numbing race to get the starters out of the game in today's world. For whatever reason, they don't want to see him a 3rd time. Well, when a relief pitcher sees a hitter a 3rd time in a series, guess what he becomes? Kind of a failed starter, right? I know a lot of guys are groomed now to go right to the bullpen, but back in my time when you came up, everyone was a starter, and then when that didn't work out, you went to the bullpen. So if you show me a guy who couldn't make it as a starter a couple more times throughout the course of a series with 2 pitches, and I get his shapes down, I got a better chance. Hot change me. So what is that number? 271. Who is that in today's game? You turn me into Manny Machado, 3rd time seeing a reliever. You want Manny Machado at the plate against Bizzardo?
That's wild.
Keep it going. Nays is in my ear. He's trying to give me more, so I want to keep rolling. But these are the thoughts we were having throughout the course of the at-bat. At least I was having. Why the need? Run it. If I'm going down in this moment. And he showed you he wants to go two-seamer in, right? 96 in. Pause this. Bring up the heat map for George. Because I want to be like, is he ice cold inside? Okay, this is George right here. Catcher's perspective. You got to show me how many big leaguers are nailing this up and in spot 3 times in a row. First off, half of them are balls. Second is I don't think a lot of guys in the big leagues can do it. Chipper Jones used to say, you show me a pitcher that can locate 3 heaters in, you tip your cap and you walk back to the dugout. I guarantee they miss out over. And where's he trying to go with this pitch? Two-seam in. Where does he miss? Out over. Get back into the tape. I think the biggest question is not to pick on Bizzardo. That's not what we want to do. I think the biggest question is you got to ask yourself, the game is on the line in that moment. If I'm dying with my best starter or my best reliever. I'm not dying here. It'd be tough for me on the plane. But great job by George. He's seen him 3rd time through. Boom, look at that. I was getting such a kick of those guys on the rail. One guy, Joe, I think it was Loper Fido, just getting after it on the rail. On the flip side, he got killed for bringing Little into Game 5. Rightfully so in the moment, turning Cal around. You had better options. People were confused. Pause this. Bring up the board of their bullpen. This is how he rolled it out. He kept Bieber in longer than I would have, sitting on the couch. Louis Varland's pitching no matter what, so we're going to get him a new ligament for Christmas.
Seriously, and diamonds or something.
Absolutely. And then he started to roll out. Soon as I saw Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound early, I was saying to myself, okay, who's he got on the back end before Hoffman? You got to give Kevin Gausman and Chris Bassett. And by the way, Chris Bassett, we can get into it now. Chris Bassett looked darn good.
Really
coming out
good.
of the pen. He really did. It was good stuff. So Sir Anthony, he's saying to himself, John Schneider's like, I'm going to roll it out. I got some starters on the back end. Gausman manipulated around a little bit, the 3 walks, one of them intentional, and gets the double play. I thought Bassett was phenomenal. The story was Hoffman. He gave you 2 and 6 and then came in and was dominant, and I love Tom Verducci, grabbed him post-game sound. We're going to get to it in a second. What he said was exactly what I was thinking. Pound the zone and do not get to the catcher. And that's a ball, but we're going to let him have it in that moment. Can't call that a strike in that spot. You can't call it a strike in that spot, right there. They're chucked out of the game. Pause this real quick. And Lucas, I just wanted to talk. Tom asked him a great question about his approach coming into the game. Take a listen to this. He was so honest.
Yeah, honestly, just pound the zone and don't get to Raleigh. Honestly, that was my goal.
Pound the zone and don't get to Cal Raleigh.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Because we're all sitting there saying the same thing. And you knew, I've been in this moment, not at the ALCS, but in the playoffs. John Smoltz said it great. You want to be a hero. 3-2, he gets to the slider. I would have bet my life J-Rod was pulling the trigger on this no matter where it was. Your body is in hero mode. You want to hit a home run for the boys and get you back in it. If you could take a deep breath, that's a ball out of his hand. You get Cal Raleigh to the plate with a chance to win the game. So just those were the things. It was the decision of Lauren. I think the biggest question you got to ask yourself going to spring training next year, if you're going down.
I'm looking at the Mariners' 13 pitchers that were on the rosters with the batters faced in the series against the Blue Jays. Edward Bizzardo faced 22. Andres Munoz faced 10. Only Luke Jackson faced fewer among the pitchers on the roster for the Mariners.
Yeah, it's funny.
And he never faced George Springer in the series.
And it is funny, Robert, the whole failed starter thing, that's back in my time. A lot of these guys are groomed from the minor leagues to be relievers. But all I'm saying is if you give me 2 pitches and I see him 3 times in a series to a hitter like George Springer,
Yeah.
I wanted the Joey Bats bat flip in that moment, but he wasn't sure.
No, he wasn't
As he
sure.
was running down first, he
Hey,
was
but he was feeling no pain in that knee as he was
That's
rounding
right.
the bases.
No.
Congratulations.